Hello, this is Halana Black from digitalwealthpublisher.com. Thank you so much for joining me today on today's tip for my authors, speakers, coaches, all any type of professional expert. I'm here to be able to help you learn how to be able to write, market, and publish a book so that your expertise will be known. And what I'm talking about today is not necessarily about the book per se, but I wanted to talk to you today about something that's very important about helping you to become known in what it is that you do. And I'm talking about how to learn how to be PR ready. I've been doing a lot of work lately on helping myself to become more PR ready, and that is because I am growing from being a person who is sitting behind a computer and doing a lot of writing and things, and I'm learning how to be able to put myself out there um, front and center. And what that means is that I have to do a lot of things like social media, which involves video. I'm being asked to participate in things like teleconferences and telesummits, um, and also doing things that require that I share pictures and bios and all kinds of other things. And so I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've been seeing with my own clients, as well as just with other people around the web that I wanted to bring to your attention, so that if you find that yourself you're doing any of these things that could be potentially hurting your um, could be hurting your professional reputation. I just wanted to bring it to your attention, and then we can talk about what we can do to be able to help you to change those things. Okay, so what does it mean to be or to get PR ready? Well, to be PR ready means that you are able to show some sort of a professional face when you are dealing with the public. PR meaning public relations, right? So, whenever, particularly now in social media, with so many people being able to create their own events, whether they're online events or real live events, you're doing interviews on social media or in so-called real life interviews for television and radio, for podcasts, for blabs, if you're doing Periscope, all those other things. It really helps to be able to have certain things in place online so people can learn more about you, right? And so one of the things that you want to have in place is, number one, is a website. Don't understand why in 2016, if you are an expert and you want people to find you, you need to have a website. And you need to have more than something that just says, such and such is coming soon. Okay, that doesn't work. You know why? Because when you put that coming soon tag on your website, you wind up seeing that coming soon tag on your website for the next 6 months to a year plus, for many of you. And it's really a shame because people find them. You put it on your Twitter profiles, your Facebook profiles, and you're telling everybody coming soon, and you don't even have so much as something in there to get people's email list. You don't tell anybody who you are, what you do, or anything. It just says Jane Smith coming soon, which is very vague. You're not sharing anything. You're not getting anybody on your email list, so on and so forth. Okay, so what you need to have is, at the very least, is a website. And if you can't do a full out website, try just doing a landing page, which tells people very basically who you are, what you do, and how they can contact you. Okay, a landing page. A landing page is very simple to do. You can do something like a Lead Pages, or there are other programs that you can use online. I prefer Lead Pages. There are other companies that you can use with, just go on Google or ask around. You'll be able to find more information about that. And you'll be able to find ways for you to be able to create a landing page if you are not ready to do a full out website as of yet. Okay, so people should be able to figure out who you are. What is your expertise? What do you do? How can you help them? Okay, and then they also need to be able to know how they can find you. What's your phone number, your email address, some sort of contact information. All of those things are very, very important. Next, you want to be able to have something like a photo, some sort of a photo, and more than just a silly selfie, right? Selfies are fun. I love a great selfie. Nothing wrong with selfies. But if you want to be able to share it with other people when they ask you to participate in their events, right? If you're participating in a summit, if you're going to be doing a blab, if you're going to um, be doing anything where you're partnering with someone and they ask you for a picture, you're going to need to have more than just a selfie. Okay? A lot of times a selfie is just too small. And so I'm seeing people, they're doing these, these big presentations at national and international summits, and then they've got this big picture of them of their big debut, telling them what their big topic is going to be, and your photo is grainy because it was a selfie. Okay, so save some money, take some time, and get yourself some sort of a professional shot. And there are many ways for this to be for you to be able to do this fairly cheaply. But get yourself a professional shot, something that's not going to be grainy, that will come in different sizes so that, something in different sizes so that the person who is creating the graphics for the event will be able to use it. So whether they're using a small one or even a larger one, it's not going to appear grainy. You don't want to be the person in this telesummit. Everyone else has a professional shot, and here you are in a selfie that you had on your Facebook page. Okay, it doesn't look very professional. Okay. Also, I wanted to say about the pictures. It's important to have updated pictures. For many of my ladies, I know some of us are using pictures from 10 years ago. And then when people meet you in person, it's like we can't tell the difference. It's like we don't know who you are, okay? Because you've spent so much time being behind the computer that when we see you in person, you look nothing like the person in the photo, and you don't want that to happen, okay? I know we all age, things happen, we get larger, we get smaller, but there's nothing wrong with what you look like today. Okay, so I wanted to tell you, make sure that your pictures are a great representation of the woman or the man that you are today. Okay, there's nothing wrong with what you look like. So, stop trying to hide behind a picture of something you have from 10, 15, hell, sometimes 20 years ago. Okay, so have some recent pictures of yourself. Um, What else did I want to share? Oh, last thing is a bio. You want to be able to have some sort of a bio of yourself. And you should have a couple of different ones available depending upon what it is that you're doing. Okay? Your first bio you should be about 2 to 3 sentences, less than about 100 to 150 words. And that's just something very quick that you can use. Oftentimes you might use this at the end of a blog post that you've written for your site or a blog post that you've written for somewhere else. Something that someone can include on their podcasts when they're doing interviews with you, so on and so forth. The next one is a bit longer and probably a bit more official sounding. It's going to be about half a page to a page. So that's usually about 250 to 500 words. And this is where you're going to share other things about your life, including, um, who you are, what type of clients you work with. You want to include information that's going to be relevant to the audience that you're talking to within where the bio is being used, right? So, for example, if you are if you're a health coach, of course you want to be able to share information about things that you've done or things that you've written about that are relevant to you being a health coach. You may have spent, 20 years in corporate America, um, and it may or may not be relevant to what it is that you do now as a health coach. So you really have to decide how much of that background of experience do you really want to share about your experience in corporate America? Does it really have any relevance to what it is that you're doing now as a health coach? And I know for many of you, if you are a health coach, you probably got into health coaching because of some experience you had in corporate America, and health coaching was just such a stark difference from what it is that you used to do. But as far as, getting awards and accolades and whatever else you did in corporate America, I really wouldn't go too deep into that. I would really just stick to who you are today. You might want to mention a couple of things from your background and how that in particular shaped you into the health coach that you are now, as an example. But nothing more than that. You may want to include, if you're working with clients, you may want to include something, what is it that your clients have been able to achieve as a result of working with you? That's also very important. If you want, you can also include things like your schooling, if you feel like that's relevant to what it is you do great. If you have certain degrees, certifications, you can put that towards the end. But what you want to include, particularly in the very beginning of your bio, is just things that people can relate to, and what is it that's making you relevant um, to what it is that people who are going to be reading that bio want to know about what it is you do and who you are and how you can help them. That's what you want to put in your bio. Okay, so that is all I have for today. So we talked about what your business needs to be PR ready. You need to have some sort of a website or a landing page. We also talked about having updated pictures. And also, lastly, we talked about your bio. Um, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you'd like to know more about how you can get in touch with me, if you'd like to do a consultation to talk about your book idea, your marketing plan, or anything about how to be able to build your expertise as an online expert, I'd love to be able to talk with you. You can email me at hello, HELLO, at digitalwellpublisher.com. That's DIGITALWELL, publisher, PUBLISHER.com. My name is Halana Black. You can also visit my website at digitalwellpublisher.com, where you can join my email list. You can get on my newsletter and join my 7-day best-selling author platform challenge there as well. Thanks. Have a great day.